Hello, welcome to the Bentleigh Report. It's July 2020. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leon Glusenfitter.
You are indeed he. And as we bring the news, the local Bentley and real estate news to the viewers, Leon, how are you feeling about the market right now?
Look, it's an interesting time.
Yep.
My biggest, I always talk about confidence, right?
Yep.
And obviously late March to probably mid to late May was a difficult time in terms of confidence. Although, like we said last episode, the buyers seem to still be plentiful buyers and things are being sold.
Plentiful supply.
But what's probably made me understand there is a bit of confidence in the marketplace. Actually, sellers are picking up the phone and saying, well, I had a plan to sell my house, or I had a plan to upsize or downsize or relocate. And they picked up the phone and said, well, I've got to get on with life. So the phone is ringing.
It's a fascinating time. People do want to get on with their lives. And, I think people who dwell too much in some of the challenges that are there just get stalled and balked and bogged down. People want to move. There's people, being born. There's families growing. There's people downsizing. There's people, we can't go interstate at the moment, but there's people doing all sorts of interesting things, making all sorts of moves. So, of course, it's an interesting time to be out and about in the world.
One thing, Gary, that I've realised, a few people, depending on their kind of job criteria, have realised they're going to be working from home more in the future, COVID or not. And I've actually met a number of people that are looking to actually upgrade their home, maybe add extra rooms for extra studies or offices.
To make it their home and their place of work.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and if they're going to spend more time there, they're going to take some government money from renovation and spruce it up a bit. But I think you're going to see a new little segment in the market which will become the home office. And we've actually got a property I've listed that has a little bungalow at the back at 37 Tucker Road that's coming up. So if you're looking for a home with a bungalow for that exact reason to work from, give me a call afterwards. I'll share it with you.
Very good. Now, we've also mixed it up a little bit. We've got a few new things happening in this episode. Yeah. We've got Meet the Trader, and we've got the proprietor of the 5th Chapter, Harry.
Yes.
From the 5th Chapter.
He's coming on.
He's coming on, and that's a great place to eat. And we've got a special deal for our viewers as well, which is worth watching just to see that. But that is a fantastic eatery. Great lunch there. Haven't been there for breakfast. Have you had breakfast there as well?
I've been there 5 doors up.
Yeah, fair enough. Heaps of times. Anyway, check that out and check out the interview shortly. And we've also got Meet the Team Member. We've got Meet the Trader and Meet the Team Member. And of course, we're introducing Igor Fedorov. But before we do, let's talk a bit about what's happening in the market, Leon, because there's stuff going on, there's things sold, there's things that are coming up, and people who are watching want to know what's happening. Let's go through some of the sales. The most recent one, of course, in Mackey Road, a brick pair there on a good block of land. Tell us about that.
Yeah, a really big block of land, in excess of 900 square metres. The Samuel brothers handled that sale.
They rode into town, didn't they?
They did, just sort of crossed North Road, came into East Bentley and cleaned up with a terrific result with a disclosed sale price of $1,605,000 after a negotiation, and just shows a bit, strong result for Bentley East.
One of the beautiful things about our organisation is there's no territorial boundaries, and I know you're selling all the time in areas like Caulfield South. We've had heaps of sales and experience in East St Kilda, and people from St Kilda are selling in Bentley. And I mean, one of the best stories, of course, is when Arlene listed something recently in Bentley, and of course you guys are busy on it, and Aviv from Carnegie sold it. So that's the beautiful thing about the way we do business. Benefits buyers and sellers alike. Hill Street, well, we've sold plenty on that street.
I don't know where to start, which one on Hill Street, but I know since the last time we discussed, we sold 2 at 51 Hill Street.
Yes.
We also sold 4 at 46 Hill Street.
Yes.
And if you still want Hill Street, the good news is we've still got a little bit of Hill Street left for you.
There's no Hill Street blues in our organisation, that's for sure.
We've got apartment 3 at 46 or townhouse 3 at 46 still available, which again is very affordable entry level for something that's brand new, and something that's even newer than brand new, which is not 100% completed yet, would be 33 to 35 Hill Street, Bentley East, which is actually under construction, and you can ring me or Julian Milton from our new projects team to give you a bit more information about that one.
I mean, if you lived in Hill Street, you'd be sick of seeing our name by now, because it just, I drove down there, and it's not a big street, but I wish we had as many properties proportionally on Dandenong Road as we do Hill Street, but I've got to say, Hill Street, it's been unbelievable, been just a fantastic hunting ground for us. It might not sound appropriate, but it's just been fantastic. A great street, we love it, and we've had some incredible results. A couple of other results worth talking about is, and probably we can have a bit of a tongue-in-cheek boast here, because a couple of these properties were not listed with us as the first agent.
No.
814B Centre Road. A great sale. Well done on that result. Tell us about that.
Look, a townhouse actually went to market through the month of February, which again, not trying to dig the foot into anyone. He couldn't really. It was shooting fish in a barrel in February before
it's
COVID.
great,
It was
wasn't it?
pretty hard to miss then. Unfortunately, didn't sell for the vendor. Then COVID came, and I think then we came, and
right.
we didn't even manage to get a board up, but we managed to get a sticker on the board, if that makes sense, Gary.
So we sold it without going through a campaign, which it did previously have. That's about working buyers well, knowing our database, knowing who's looking in Bentley, and that's something that we do well, and that's a pretty good example of it. Leon, Murrong Avenue in Bentley.
7B, an almost identical story. 7B Murrong also went to market with another agent. We had a short period of time to work with after. They were going to either rent it out or sell it. Thankfully, we found a buyer and a sale price undisclosed, but still in excess of $1.5 million in the McKinnon Secondary School zone for a townhome, which was beautiful, but still just very strong pricing, in excess of $1.5 million. Shows the strength of that school zoning.
Yes, I'm getting on in my age. I think at 1.5 you could have just about bought Bentley when I was started in real estate, but today you're going to get a big piece of and a nice slice of Bentley for that sort of money. But there is plenty of homes, $1.5, $2 million, and perhaps the best home perhaps ever seen in Bentley is coming up shortly. But before we get to that, we've got certainly another one that's top of its class, an 8 Milton Street, Bentley. What a beautiful home. Tell us a bit about this.
Really nice looking house. Like, you look at this home, it's got a picture perfect postcard facade, is that right? Nearly managed to say that without mucking it up.
Actually, had
the privilege of selling this home a couple of years ago, and the owners have had a bit of a change in strategy.
Now, I don't know if I've ever seen a better house in Bentley than this one that we're going to introduce now. 21 Robert Street, Bentley. I mean, this is, this would be a house you could see in, the best streets in Brighton or the absolute best streets in Toorak. I mean, it really is one of the most phenomenal homes that I think's ever been created in Bentley. Take us through this masterpiece of a property.
So look, 21 Robert Street, I'm sure there'll be plenty of images on the screen behind me, and there's a very detailed tour on as well that Philip's done. But it's not a house that, nothing against volume build homes, it's a standard type build, but this is not one of those homes. This is a home that's
bespoke build.
It's very bespoke. It's something that someone that's got some money, had some land, wanted to build themselves something extremely special, and really spared no expense. From the concrete floors that are hydronically heated, there's steel beams through the place. There's a 13-metre long pool. There's amazing landscaping. It really is a bespoke home, and it's a home that, again, if I think we moved it from Bentley to Brighton, might be 50 to 75% more expensive. You might be in that $4 to $5 million range.
Could be double,
and we've already had it open a couple of times and had incredible feedback where even people have gone to look at it who are from the building background, not there to buy it, but just to have a bit of a perv, if I can say, have said, like, we know how much money's gone into building this house. And in fact, the fact it's about 8 or 9 years old, it presents it as though it's 1 year old. The amount it would cost to build today would probably be close to $2 million, I would say.
It's a true Bentley, it's a true masterpiece. It's a true Bentley iconic home. This will stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
And be talked about for years to come. But if you want to see something, and if you want to make something special, you want this to be a future home, then, sell your shares, sell the holiday house, sell your shares in racehorses, whatever it takes, go and buy this home, because this is something that is a home for a lifetime. It doesn't get much better than.
If you're going to work from home, Gary, this would be the home to work from. It actually has 4 bedrooms and a study. If you're going to spend more time at home, sell up the investment property, sell up the office,
cash in your lease.
21 Robert Street, make it home.
Come and have a look at it. Leon, we could keep going on about property, but we've got a little bit more. It's a different show now. We've got to introduce Harry.
And also, just to interrupt you, Gary, there should be a little, I don't know what they're called, but a little thing on the bottom of the screen. So we thought we'd actually share some information other than just our sales about median sale prices and top 10 sales, just to keep it a little bit more interesting, just to make it a bit more informative.
So
we're developing, Gary. We're getting a little bit cleverer.
Work in process, yes, indeed. So
we're just simple real estate
process. Work in progress. Work in progress. We are.
So hopefully the quality and the content of the show is improving monthly.
Of course, we hope so. We want to bring as much value to the viewers as possible. Off to interview time, Leon. Let's hear from Harry and let's hear from Igor.
For today's segment of Meet the Trader, we have Harry from 5th Chapter, Mr. 5th Chapter himself. Harry, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Leon. It's a pleasure to be here.
Harry, I've been keen to get you on the show for a little while. Your cafe, 5th Chapter, seems to be the go-to cafe down Centre Road, Bentley. Seems to me every time I have an appointment with a client and we have to meet at a central cafe or a central meeting place, they say, I'll meet you at 5th Chapter, Leon. And I say, no problem. And that's because it seems to be really well recognised. Tell me, how's the business going? And tell me a bit about the business. How long has it been running?
Yeah.
And why you chose to open in Centre Road?
Well, we've been in Centre Road 3 years now. Husband and wife business. My wife Georgia does all the cooking. She's the chef.
Fantastic.
And I'm front of house at the front, drinking espresso and greeting all the guests. The reason we chose Centre Road Bentley is because of its tremendous amount of traffic. You know, we have everything there. We've got great real estate agents, banks,
Very kind of you.
great shopping. So it really is a vibrant little strip there.
Yeah. And Centre Road itself, I've sort of been around the Centre Road precinct as a real estate agent for about 13, 14 years. It's changed a lot in that time. It used to be a bit of a boring strip, couple of cafes, couple of old shops. It's completely changed. The place is buzzing. How do you feel about the place? You know, what have you sort of seen as the change in even the last couple of years?
Absolutely, it's changed. All the locals are very positive. It's going through a gentrification as such. You know, the people there are more lifestyle orientated than they might have been several years ago. It's lost its aged aura. It's
Definitely. I feel it's a much younger vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, much younger demographic at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. And obviously, Fifth Chapter pours a mean coffee, which we've consumed plenty of, but you also have a really diverse menu for both breakfast and lunch. A couple of your favourites personally, Harry? What would, if you had a top two for breakfast?
Top two for breakfast, you can't go past our corn fritters, coriander, aioli, and we make everything in-house. And also our scrambled eggs is pretty hard to go past.
Yeah, that's what gets me, Harry.
Nice big portion.
Yeah, either scrambled or poached, I don't mind.
Yep. Yes, yeah.
And for lunch, if you're going to take a couple of your family members to lunch, what would be your top two?
We've got a large variety of burgers, and also our calamari salad's pretty hard to go past.
Okay, watch out for that calamari salad. Next time you go there, mention to Harry that you saw it on GPTV. I'm sure he'll look after you. Obviously, the last 4 months, Harry's been really difficult in many accounts, especially for small business. Tell me how you found it. Tell me what's happening now and what are the restrictions and how you guys are operating and what you're offering.
Definitely been challenging times. Very uncertain as to how we could trade and how many people we can seat and you know, how many people per table. A lot of questions. People when they come in seem to be a little bit uncertain. But at the moment in Victoria, we can seat up to 20 people inside per area, and with a maximum of 6 per table. So we've been doing that pretty quickly. We try to limit our spacings and try and give people an hour per sitting. That way we can give as many customers as possible a chance to come in and enjoy it. Yeah. A lot of people have been a bit stir crazy through lockdown and not being able to see your friends and relatives as often as you'd like. So that's one of the reasons why we'd like to give everyone a fair chance.
And you're finding things are picking up? You're finding since the restrictions have eased, you are getting more orders? Is that you're finding some momentum gathering?
Momentum gathering, it was gathering at a faster pace, but with this second wave coming through, we've seen a little bit of people being a little bit tentative, but I think that in general in Victoria we're really well placed, and especially in our suburbs, southeastern, Bentley, Ormond, we really are. I think we'll be ready to get back to where we were really quickly.
Yeah, let's hope so. Harry, you've always got a smiling team. I always find when I walk in to pick up a coffee or get a meal, you've got a great team of happy people always smiling. Maybe a quick shout out to some of the crew? Yeah,
thanks, Leon. Our team, hospitality is very much a team game.
Yep.
Shannon, our manager, is always on the floor, always ready with a smile and to greet people, as well as Petros, who does our main barista work.
Yep.
You've
got a whiz-bang machine there. Sorry to interrupt, but there's a crazy machine at the front. Is that I think it's a very limited edition, is that right?
It's the latest, greatest machine. It's a KB90 from Lamazocco.
Of course, the KP90,
Well picked up.
Yeah.
It's the Ferrari of coffee machines.
Right, okay. That's why it tastes so good.
It also helps. It helps with speed and consistency in the extraction of the coffee.
Yeah.
So, when you have the best equipment, we try and get the best people. Yep. It all helps to make a good result for the customer.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, always get such a great vibe walking into your cafe. Thank you for joining us, Harry. I've really been keen to get you on because, again, Fifth Chapter is becoming a bit of an iconic cafe for the area. Hopefully we can get through this current situation, and I'm really much looking forward to walking through the doors there with a buzzing restaurant or cafe full of people having a good time, enjoying great food and coffee. And I think everyone's looking forward to that. Thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure.
And Harry, just a little bit of a collaboration between Gary Peer TV, Bentleigh Report and 5th Chapter. For the month of July and August, someone comes in, you want to do a little deal for them? If they mention our report?
Would love to. If they mention this segment, the Bentley GPTV segment, would happily offer a free coffee with any meal purchased. And if you're not having a meal, just come in and mention the ad and we'll do something special for you anyway.
There we go, GPTV Bentleigh viewers, something extra just for tuning in. Welcome to this month's GPTV Bentleigh Meet the Team segment. Today we're joined by Igor Fedorov, who we've been looking forward to bringing onto the show. Igor, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Leon. Great to be here.
Now, Igor, you've been with us a few months now, about 5 months, and you couldn't have probably picked a more difficult / interesting time to break into the real estate world. Tell me, how have you found it? And some of the challenges that you feel you're facing at the moment in the first few months of your career.
Leon, look, it's been definitely a challenging time to start, but like I said to yourself and Gary a few months ago, there couldn't have been a better time to start in real estate. So it's definitely it's been challenging in the way that there's been not a lot of activity, but it gives me an excellent time to put together a very good and strong process.
Yeah, and sort of work on the basics and work on your base.
Yeah.
I know you've only been in real estate sort of since around late February, but you've been in the customer service business for quite a while. Tell me, in your past couple of professional lives, you've been working at Audi and BMW Mini. Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so the last 6 years for me has been in the automotive industry. So I've worked with 3 major European brands, so Audi, BMW and Mini. So that was my customer service role and sales role as well. And prior to that, I spent a little bit of time in finance, also on the customer service side. And then I've got probably a 5-6 year hospitality background as well.
Yeah.
So
we'll touch on that in a second, but I do know you must have been a pretty good salesman, because I know you did manage to sell Philip a Mini, or Philip and his wife Irene a Mini. So, and he's not an easy person to negotiate with, so you must have been pretty good at what you did to make sure that he buys from you.
That was a 4-month sale. It took a while, but
Philip being difficult, yeah.
But it was worth it.
And on the hospitality side of things, I'm not sure if I know any other real estate agent is actually also a qualified chef, and that is you, I believe.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, career out of high school, and spent 3.5 years doing an apprenticeship. This was back in New Zealand, where I grew up, and I've just been sort of dabbing into it here and there, doing some part-time work occasionally, and I think all up probably close to 6 years in total.
Yeah.
So a lot of different categories of food, a lot of different cuisines. I can't say that I have a go-to or a favorite.
Yeah.
But if you were to sort of ask off the top of my head, probably my go-to dish is a carbonara.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, you have to whip one up for us when we're allowed to go and visit each other and do all that stuff. And finally, Igor, you're an East Bentleigh or Bentleigh East resident. I seem to feel you're really loving the vibe of that part of Bentleigh East, sort of close to East Boundary Road. Tell me how you find there as a resident, how you're finding it, and a little bit about the area.
Look, as you picked it right, I love the area. We've been in the area for coming up to 2.5 years now, moving from one street to another. At the moment, we're not too far away from the GSAC complex, which is great, it's a fantastic community place. For to catch up with friends and for exercise as well. Yeah, so look, we're just off Centre Road at the moment and absolutely loving the area. It's nice, fantastic, young, fun vibe.
Yep.
And like I said, we feel connected to a lot of the action that's happening.
Sure. And that's an area you're specialising in. So if you do live in Bentleigh East, especially where Igor lives and spends a lot of his time selling homes in that area, please think of Igor, give him a quick call. And also a little bit of a common thing, obviously both of us Russian background, so the Russians taken over Bentley a little bit.
Definitely.
So if you did want to speak to a real estate agent with a trustworthy face who can maybe cook you up a good meal and also helps you with a bit of a Russian translation, Igor's a man for the job. So Igor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Leon.
Look, really enjoying working with you and sort of the experience you bring from a vast sort of forays into different careers, and looking forward to your career continuing to progress well and really taking off. And I'm sure once past COVID-19, hopefully we've got a couple of years of clear air and really looking to see you blossom. So good luck and thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Leon. Cheers.
Thanks, Leon. There's another edition on the Bentleigh Report. Nice interview of Harry.
Thank you.
Great eatery there, the 5th chapter. I've enjoyed going there myself, taking you and the team members for lunch there. And well done with Igor. What a great guy. He's doing some wonderful things. Good to see him. That's a big wrap on the Bentleigh Report. We'll bring you some more news soon. Next month, I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
See you next time.